What's up, JimBallzzz? It's JimBallzzz back again with another video. Back recapping 2024 music type stuff. That's where we're at. The top 20 albums of 2024 by me, JimBallzzz. Let's just hop into it with some honorable mentions. First up, we got Glass Beach with Plastic Death. Glass Beach is finally back with their second album after a long wait, but they finally dropped this. And while I definitely prefer their first album a little bit more, because this newest album felt a little bit more impersonal, the first album felt a lot more emotional, kind of a bit more personal, kind of resonated with me a bit more. This album is still incredibly well made. You can tell it's influenced by like Radiohead, so it's extremely technical, complex, very well made album. But like I said, it's just a little bit impersonal, which made it not resonate as strongly as with me as the first album, but still an incredible album, Plastic Death. And next up, we have Ka with The Thief Next to Jesus.
Spoke like everything near Wyatt.
And rest in peace to Ka. He sadly passed away this past year in 2024, so rest in peace to him. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say like he's my favorite rapper or anything because he died, but he's an extremely talented guy and I've enjoyed some of his work in the past. And this new album here, The Thief Next to Jesus, it was my favorite album from Ka. It was the one that's resonated with me the most so far from all of Ka's work. And to just see that he's made his best album, in my opinion, just the year he passed away, it's extremely sad to see. Who knows what amazing stuff he could have made in the future, but rest in peace to him, rest in peace to Ka. The Thief Next to Jesus, really well made album, really good drumless rap, and as the title says, it's a largely Christian album, but with a lot of critiques of Christianity as well, so very well thought out album, really great album, and rest in peace to Ka. And then, of course, we gotta have Shoo Shoo with 13-inch Frank Beltrame Italian stiletto with bison horn grips. Yeah, whatever that means. But yeah, Shoo Shoo, you know, Shoo Shoo's been making amazing music for decades now at this point, and just another great emotional electronic album from Shoo Shoo. Great stuff. But yeah, let's hop into it. We got top 20 albums, and as always, each artist or band only appears once, so no repeat albums from the same people. So yeah, let's just get into it. Top 20 albums. Starting off with number 20, we got Che with Say So Says. And this is just a really fun rage album here from Che. Really great energy, really unique beats. I think rage as a genre is becoming a little bit stale, but Che definitely breathed some new life into rage with this album here. With a lot of influence from club scene music, some electro clash influence, some EDM influence, just some hard party fun music with really unique sounding, really fun party beats, blend with the rage rap. Yeah, it works really well. It's a really unique album. Rage might be back with this album. And Che has been a guy influenced by Chief Keef, and that's kind of been my critique of some of his older stuff. It's been a little too Chief Keef influence, kind of where the influence is on the sleeve a little bit too much. But this album, Say So Says, really fun, really hard album, and really unique album here. I'm tapped into the underground guys. I know about Che. This is definitely a great album from Che, and the future for him could be really bright if we get more stuff like this from him. At number 19, I gotta go with Denzel Curry, King in the Mischievous South, Volume 2. Make so much money from just that idea. But yeah, Denzel Curry is back with another album. A lot of people consider Denzel Curry one of the best out right now, and I definitely believe that maybe more back in 2018, 2019. I was definitely one of the biggest Denzel Curry fans back then, but as the years gone on, he's grown off me a little bit, but I can't deny he's still a really good rapper. I have a bit of an unpopular opinion about Melt My Eyes. I felt like that was kind of one of Denzel Curry's weakest albums because it didn't sound like a Denzel Curry album. It just kind of felt like conscious hip-hop as just a whole influence type of album. It didn't feel like a Denzel Curry album. It just felt like a standard conscious hip-hop album for me, in my opinion. So yeah, that album wasn't really my favorite from Denzel, but this is kind of more Denzel Curry at his best. I think Denzel's just at his best, making straightforward bangers, making some really hard songs, making some songs that go hard in the paint, no pun intended. But this is just some fire music from Denzel Curry, influenced by Memphis rap. Yeah, we fart with the 3-6 Mafia here. Memphis rap goes hard. Denzel Curry with his hard trap style with some Memphis rap influence. Yeah, it goes really good. It's just really fire. And yeah, Denzel Curry just doing what he does best on this album. Number 18, we got Godspeed You Black Emperor with no title as of 13th February, 28,340 dead. And I'm not a super political person. I'm not going to go in depth about the Palestine-Israel conflict. That's not the point of this JimBallzzz channel. It's not the point of this video. Talk about politics and everything. But politics is infused into pretty much all art, including this album. As you can tell about the title, this is an album about the conflict in Palestine. And like I said, I'm not going to go in depth into it, but I will say free Palestine. And it's a really sad situation, and that is shown in this music. Even though there are not lyrics saying about this, about the conflict, with the production and how sad it all is, you can tell that's what this album is about. It's incredibly well made. It's extremely depressive album, which, I mean, with death and war, of course, it's going to be very depressing. But yet there are some very hopeful tones shown about this thing, that things hopefully can get better for the Palestinian people, that they can get the justice they deserve, hopefully a brighter future for them. But the production on this is incredible, and this is just an incredibly well-made album here. Really great album from Godspeed You Black Emperor and Free Palestine. Number 17, we got Sam LRC with A Lonely Sinner. That's right. I love furry music. I love furry albums. Let's go. But this album here from Sam LRC, this is just an extremely beautiful album. Really great post-rock from Brazil. Brazilian furries, they make good music. But the production on this is really good. It's just an incredibly well-made album. Some really unique production on this. And yeah, this album is just really, really beautiful. Don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, just because it's got a furry on the cover or whatever. It's an incredibly well-made post-rock album here. Really beautiful stuff. Number 16, we got JPEG Mafia with I Lay Down My Life For You. And a lot of people hating on JPEG Mafia. I guess it's a little bit easy to, but I still enjoy some of JPEG Mafia's music. I will agree he's not the best person, but I still enjoy the music. This is a bit of a step up from Scaring the Hoes, in my opinion. Scaring the Hoes production was, I mean, alright, but JPEG Mafia as a rapper is kind of on autopilot, and Danny Brown kind of hard carried, for being honest. Scaring the Hoes is kind of overrated. Yeah, I enjoyed this album more than Scaring the Hoes. The beats on this go hard as fuck, and this is a bit of a more mature sound from JPEG Mafia. There's some really cool strings and guitars strewn about this. Bit of a mature sound, at least production-wise, I felt like on this. Still producing some really good stuff. So yeah, JPEG Mafia, number 16. Number 15, we got Paranol with Sky 100. And this is a bit of a return to form for Paranol. They had an album in, I think it was 2021, that I really loved. It felt like really fresh in the indie rock scene. And since that, they've been releasing album after album, and it felt like each one was kind of weaker than the last. But with Sky 100, I felt like it was a return to form. Making more super beautiful lo-fi indie rock. Again, it's still kind of more of the same from Paranol, but it felt like a lot more intentional, better produced, better written, and yeah, just really good album here. Number 14, we got Feardorian with self-titled Feardorian. And with Feardorian, he's really underrated, so you gotta check him out, bro. He is just one of the best producers out right now, with some really unique sample flips, with a large variety of different samples, from like video game music to current like indie rock. Like, he will sample anything and everything and make it sound fire. A lot of these beats are very unique. While Feardorian, maybe not the best lyricist, there's some really nice introspective lyrics all across this. So even lyrically, it's pretty decent. He flows really well over his beats, and yeah, this Feardorian project is really good. Number 13, we got Fontaines DC with Romance. I really like Fontaines DC. I think they're one of the best rock bands out right now. Romance as a whole was kind of meh. I don't think it's their strongest album, but some of the best songs of the year are on this. Songs like Starburster and Favorite. They are some of the best songs of the year, but there's a large variety of different rock songs across this, with some dream pop stuff, with some rap rock too, and then just some straight up indie rock. There's a large variety of different rock songs on here, and not everything hits. It's a little hit or miss, but the hits really do hit. And like I said, it's not their best, but it's still a really great album here from Fontaines, DC. Number 12, we got Kanye with Rich Ass Haitian. And if you know Kanye, he's still doing his thing. This is just Kanye at his peak, just still making really great stuff. He makes some really creative, unique, and political abstract hip hop, some drumless stuff, very unique use of samples. And this is just by the book, solid Kanye. And the beats on this are really good. Just Kanye's just doing his thing. At 11, we got Xaviersobased with two.
These niggas think they better than me, I won.
And Xaviersobased, I think, is one of the best out right now. He's got a really unique flow, really unique voice with some really fire beats. This is just effortless swag. It's just effortless swag, swagging everywhere. Some really great cloud rap. The beats on this are just hypnotizing combined with Xaviersobased. Just super relaxed, swaggy flow. It's just very hypnotizing stuff. And the style works very, very well. Number 10, we got Igloo Ghost with Title Memory EXO. Igloo Ghost, he's just one of the best producers out. Just these very glitchy, kind of experimental hip-hop beats, and it works extremely well. These beats are really unique. Kind of nothing else really kind of sounds like what Igloo Ghost is doing right now. He's just one of the best out right now. And this might be his best album. This is a bit of a new direction for him, kind of steering a bit more into like a hip-hop type of style, but it works extremely well. Number 9, we got Floral Tattoo with the Circus Egotistica. This album is just super intense, super epic. It's super grand and amazing and ambitious. Moments of psychedelic rock, shoegaze, noise rock, this large blending of different genres, and it's super ambitious and grand and large, and it's a really amazing album here from Floral Tattoo. They're a little bit underrated. Not many people know about them, so if you want a really unique, super grand and epic rock album, definitely check this out. This was their first album since their 2020 album, and their 2020 album was really amazing, but it didn't feel super grand or epic, and it felt like this was the album, if they decided to go all in, make something really focused and grand and epic, it would be this album, and they fully stick the landing on this, and it's just a really awesome album. Number 8, we got Mavi with Shadowbox.
I'm back in my boogie, I'm out of the cleaner. She tell me.
And Mavi is back, and he's still fire. It's a really dark album, but with some really warm productions, depressive lyrics, but with the production on this, it feels really cozy. You're really cozy with your sadness on this album, and this is his best album. I didn't know if he could make something better than his first album he's made, but this is his best work, and it's just really incredible what Mavi's doing. He's also pretty underrated. Number 7, we got friko with Where We've Been, Where We Go From Here. And Friko is just one of the best indie rock bands right now. This is their first album, but this album is super anthemic, catchy, and well produced. It's just really great indie rock. For a first album, this is incredibly well made, and we need more from Friko ASAP. So many catchy albums, anthemic choruses, with some very beautiful production. It's noisy production as well on this thing. It's just incredibly well made. Number 6, we got Mount Eerie with Night Palace.
Beneath the surface.
And if you know Mount Eerie, this is just more of the same from Mount Eerie. Just a perfect blend of atmosphere and songwriting. Some great indie folk stuff, very atmospheric. It feels like you're just cold, sitting in the woods next to a fire. Just that's the vibe you get from listening to this album. And this is just more great stuff from Phil. Old ass man, but still making incredible indie folk music. Just very emotional stuff. But it's very peaceful stuff, and it's very well written. Number 5, we got Adrianne Lenker with Bright Future, and
Feel like a fool, yeah.
And she's just one of the best songwriters out right now. Just incredible indie folk stuff here from Adrianne Lenker. It's very sentimental stuff, but it's very heartwarming. It's a little bit depressive, but very well written. And she's honestly a GOAT. Whether it's her work with Big Thief or her solo stuff, just all of it's incredible. She is just one of the best songwriters out right now. She's incredible. Number 4, we got Father John Misty with Mahash Mashana. And Father John Misty's been a guy I've known about, and his work's been all right, but This album right here, this is the first Father John Misty to fully click with me, and this album is just amazing. Super beautiful chamber production across this thing. This is probably the best produced album of the year. Just listening to this, it's just so beautiful and just so well produced. And this is a bit of a more mature lyrics from Father John Misty on this. Still with some cynicism, but it's a bit more mature with some of the themes and lyrics on this. And it's just a really great album here. Number 3, we got The Cure with Songs of a Lost World. This is The Cure making new music. These old ass dudes still making incredible goth rock. Like, I don't know how they do it, but they still do it. And the Goats just release a new classic. This is just incredibly well made. And this stuff is just as depressing, just as beautiful as their old stuff. I don't know how this old ass band makes a new album and it's just as solid, just as good as their stuff from like 40 years ago. You don't see that very often. You don't see a band still have the same spark and make stuff just as good of quality as stuff from 40 years ago, but they did it. The Cure, they're an incredible band. Number 2, we got Chief Keef with Almighty So 2. And this Chief Keef album is just front to back hard as flip. Just banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. Just every song goes hard as fart. People have been waiting for this Almighty So 2 for a while, and this was worth the hype and more. This is a new classic. This is one of Chief Keef's best albums. I think this is his second best album here. And being able to do this after being around for like over a decade now at this point, influencing most of hip hop to just still be making just some of the best stuff out right now, it's incredible. Chief Keef definitely deserves all the credit in the world. This is the best hip hop album of the year with Almighty So 2. But with the best album of the year, I gotta give it to Brat. Let's go, Brat. I'm a brat. We in Brat winter, guys. Haha. Psych! This ain't Fantano, bitch. If you want these general ass opinions, go watch Fantano if you want all this stupid ass, stupid shit. I ain't Fantano, bro. So that means number 1 album of the year. It's gotta go to Porter Robinson with Smile. That's right, Porter Robinson with this album. This is just more beautiful and sentimental stuff from him. Every song is great and well written. I love every single song on this. Some really catchy pop rock stuff, really catchy synth pop. It's just super sentimental, super well written, super catchy, super beautiful. It's just amazing. And this is Porter Robinson's best album, in my opinion. With Nurture, his last album, that one was incredible. With some folktronica, very nature, very beautiful stuff. But with this is just straight to the point, catchy, well-written stuff. And that's why it deserves best album of the year. So number 1, I gotta give it to Porter Robinson. That's right. This ain't Fantano, bitch. But yeah, this has been my personal top 20 albums of 2024. Thank you so much for watching. This has been JimBallzzz, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.